I'm Fiona Poland and I'm the project lead for Impress. I'm a sociologist and community researcher, and I've been working on the project from its very inception. The Impress study team talked to lots of people involved in different ways with PPI in different research projects, but what really came through from all of them was the importance of taking time to clarify the roles and processes for PPI, working right the way from the start to resolve issues and uncertainties and to build trust. Another important lesson was that in order to have a comprehensive form of PPI, we had an opportunity by working in the Clarke Research Programme to work with regional partners and other projects from across the project, and that also needed work in order to be able to draw on that fully and to be able to make active PPI that much more possible. And what that did was that gave us a lot of examples of strong PPI good practice and lessons, which we were able to start to share across the Clarke programme, but which are also available for us to share more widely. What we really learned was that you can't ever take for granted that everybody knows what's needed and what's going to happen in terms of PPI, and unless we take time to provide information and training that people might need to find out what that is. And part of finding out about the information and getting the discussions going is also encouraging informal networking about other PPI activity happening and about other networks that people can plug into. We also emphasised how much support was needed to get the PPI going initially and to keep PPI activities and interests going between projects. And the planning needed to make PPI happen in any given project meant attending to the sorts of particular structures, purposes and roles that might be made available through each project, and to plan PPI according to the practicalities of that. One of the things that we thought could be really important in doing the sharing of PPI lessons was to perhaps have a PPI resource handbook that drew on the experiences being built. And to build that, we could do that by ensuring that projects themselves were much more aware of how they needed to be more transparent with PPI members about what they're doing, about ensuring that PPI representatives could get access to and not only see project reports on a regular basis, but also to contribute to them. So one of the important lessons was that the Clarke itself, the overall research programme itself, might need to be supportive of these kinds of flexible changes that might happen in a project as it developed in order to be able to be responsive to the needs of developing good PPI for that project. And also that an important role for PPI, if it's going to be used fully, is to work with PPI members to translate the research into practice, because that's one of the strengths of PPI members about understanding the practice context, and they would have very important lessons to share there. However, to make sure that the research relationships and the PPI relationships were places where they could build trust in PPI, we would also emphasise the need for timely and appropriate feedback, and actually say regular feedback, to be given to PPI representatives. And we would also emphasise the evaluation of PPI within projects, so that if PPI is evaluated as it goes along, it can show what may need changing as it goes along, but also to share lessons about the value of PPI beyond the project itself. The advantages of these kinds of actions can be seen in the example of a project where they needed to convey some really quite technical ideas and concepts, and by working closely, repeatedly and over time with a PPI group, they were able to find ways to eventually overcome the communication problems, and in so doing make a highly communicable set of findings for their project.